Morning guys, so I thought I'd do this video just to talk a little bit about more about the solo from Velvet Revolver and the sort of key licks. So firstly, obviously you'll need a wah pedal, and this is going to be fun because wiring sitting down is pretty difficult. Firstly we're going to do this. So that's the first bit we're going to look at. Now that last bit that I did where I sped up was improvised, so I'm going to show you all the licks I did up to that, all the notes I played up to that, and I call that sort of like the key licks of the solo, and then I'll show you the notes that I improvise with. Excuse me. We've got a string bend on the 13th fret of the B string. Do 2 more, and then 1 more, and then go down to 10 on the B string. So you've got. Then you're going to go up to the 15th fret of the B string and go. So that was 3 string bends on that, and then on the 4th one you're going to go like this. So I went 1, 2, like sort of bending up to it, releasing a little bit, going up to it again, 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th one you do an over bend, so you actually bend past the note that's, we're actually aiming for this note, so one that's a minor third away, so you've got, so that's this note 3 frets away, so you're, so do you hear that? That's like an over bend, so you've got string bend, over bend. So after you've done that, you go, so that's 13, 15, 13 on the B string. Then you're going to go down to the 15th fret of the high E string and go. So we'll take this in like 4 parts. You've got this first. Then you're going to go. Accidentally hit the G string there, but that's fine, it didn't sound too bad. Then we're going to go like this. So 13, 15, 13. And again, it's another so that's the 15th fret on the high E string I did that on. Like bending up to, releasing and going up to again. So, and then after you've done that, I go 15, 14, 15 on the high E string, and then after that I improvise. So, so again, recap. First bit. And then after that I go. Something like that. So the notes that I use to improvise with in that part, after I go, and then I go into that little run there, the notes that I use are 15, 14, 12 on the high E string, 15, 13, 12 on the B string, so you've got, then you've got 14, 12, 10 on the G, and then 12, 10 on the D, and then I might throw in the 12 on the A string as well, so it'll be. Basically, it's a blend of the D parts of the D minor scale. So you've got a G, an F, an E. A G, an F sharp, an E, A, D, and D, C, and B. And then he goes, and then he blends for the second half. It's the pentatonic. So if you take position 1 of your minor pentatonic scale, and you start, so maybe, well, it's a bit confusing because we're in drop D, so you have to play here on the 12th fret and 15, and then go like this. So drop back to the 10th fret. You could also improvise using that, but he's basically blending that scale and then this scale. Oh no. So that was the D minor scale. And then you've obviously got D minor pentatonic. So hang on. So now I'm just trying to think. There must be a way that you can do that where you don't put in quite as many notes. Obviously, I'm trying to emulate what Slash does because he does throw in a torrent of notes. But you could go. And it would still work. The key thing is to hit, when you're improvising, to, I suppose, also be aware of how long you're going to be improvising for until you come back to the next sort of key phrase. I'm just going to, I've just opened my Spotify and I'm going to, whoops, play along to the song, but that phrase it's about 2 bars long, and it's very hard to sort of count that when you're actually playing. So what I would do is just play along to the song as much as possible for that particular section, so you get to know how it feels, and how you kind of how long you have to improvise with. And how long that sort of gap in the solo is that you're filling up with. But you don't have to play that section really fast, you could do it slower. And yeah, so let's have a look at the next key lick after that then. So we go to the 12th fret of the G string, and we're going to go. So that was just bending up again and releasing. Then we're going to go. So that bit is quite difficult. What you need to do is keep your index finger very firmly holding down the 10th fret of the B string. Then you go to the 12th fret of the G string with your ring finger. Did you hear that? So you go bend up on the G and then play the B string. And then you're going to go to the 13th fret of the B string and pull off. So your index finger is not going to move. So what we're going to be doing here is, and it's quite hard to tell when he actually changes from one to the other, but you've got. So what he does is you've got this, then I go personally like this 4 times, and then I switch to. So that was 13, pull off to 10, and then play G12 on the G. And then I slowly like push the wah down. So I go like. Then it goes. So that is Now, I must stress actually, this next part I don't actually quite know what Slash does in this bit. But again, I sort of hit, I feel like I've kind of hit the key phrases. I'm kind of improvising for this bit. In fact, I'm improvising right to the end of the solo now, but what I do is I go... So the way I do that is I'm holding down 10 on the two smallest strings, holding them both down, and I play 10 on the smallie, and with a down pick, and then on an up pick I play 13 on the beat, which is quite difficult, and then I pull off to the 10th fret of the B string, so you go. Then after that, I suppose this is the last key phrase that I will hit. It's literally just one bend. So I go, so that's on the 13th fret of the high E. And you bend up, release, and then let it go. Now after that, I do a bluesy lick like this to sort of finish the solo off. So what I'm doing is literally just going down the blues scale. So that was 13, 10, 13, 10, and then 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. Hang on a sec, guys, I'm going to have to do this video in two parts because someone's at my door.